Hey, this is Julie. I just want to let you know you're listening to the finale episode of our season 4. So, Jake and I are going to take a few weeks off. We'll be back in May with new episodes. So, enjoy this episode and we'll see you in a few weeks. Or listen to you. Or, no, you're going to listen to us. You know what I mean. Okay, goodbye. Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged.
Where the characters are as quirky as the vines.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
Hi, Jacob.
Hey, man, how are you? What's up?
Wait, do you care how I am or you want to know what's up?
Is there a third choice?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Do you want to go with option number 3?
Let's do that.
Okay. Let's remind people how this podcast got started. I was quitting my corporate gig and I wanted to fill my life with something that meant absolutely nothing. And I was like, hey, Jake, my brother Jacob, you want to do a podcast with me? And do you remember what you asked?
No.
What's it going to be about?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm going to do the secondhand sales market. And you were like, why? Because you and I we both have like marketing type jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of marketing podcasts out there. And I was adamant I did not want to create another marketing podcast. But we have all this knowledge of how to best get people to buy things through our careers as marketers. And I thought, you know what? We could probably apply that to the secondhand sales market. Garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, thrift shops, Facebook Marketplace, the real, like all of the things.
All the stuff, yeah.
And also, whenever I was looking around, I was like, there's not really a podcast that celebrates the secondhand sales market. So that's how we came about creating this podcast. And do you remember one of the first stories you pitched to me and you were so excited about this? Do you remember it?
I think I do. Please tell me you're not going to like jump the shark and do it now. But I think I know where you're going. But for me, it was the PriceMaster.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was very excited about the prospect of really digging into the PriceMaster, which was an early viral video of what turns out was a performance art piece put on by somebody in this whole area here in Denton, Texas. There was a kind of mock yard sale and a lot of stuff, typical stuff, nothing unusual about the stuff in the yard sale. But the thing that really made it viral was that it was being presided over by this mystic, this guy in a costume. If you've seen it, you know it. But he did this amazing job. The other people working the yard sale would interact with people shopping, and they're kind of like, it was just set up as a regular yard sale, and they were actually going, well, how much for this? How much for that? And these other employees would go, I don't know, let's ask the PriceMaster. And this guy was on a stage, which I guess is like the porch of the house, but they had a backdrop and everything like that. Wild costume. And they had a microphone, and it was amplified in a huge way. And they go, PriceMaster, how much for the toothbrush holder? And he'd think about it for a moment and go, $2 million, some absurd price. And they just kept that up the entire time, and people got really upset.
Yes.
And some people were amused, and some people were very put out about it. It was fantastic.
So, yes, I want to talk about the PriceMaster today because it came out 25 years ago.
Yep.
And the person who played the original PriceMaster, his name was Nathan Austin. He passed away in 2022.
Damn.
So
Wow.
there was a group of people that made the PriceMaster come to life because, yes, you had the quote unquote stage, which was the porch. They had the backdrop. He had a whole costume thing going on. They also had someone in the crowd, like with a camcorder. So that you can go on YouTube and watch it. And the YouTube video has millions of views on it. And also it's like a late 90s, like camcorder-esque.
Right. It's got that kind of quality to it. Yeah. It's very kind of a Blair Witch, just with, room to negotiate on price.
Well, and also like they were playing like Korean music behind him.
Yeah.
And to Jake's point, the microphone, it had a reverb on it, so it didn't sound like a normal human.
Right.
And the way that they pitched this, and it's just a group of friends. And for those that are not familiar with Denton, it's home to the University of North Texas. They have a great music program. I know people that have gone through the music program, fantastic music program. But this was people that were part of like the arts scene at UNT. Denton is a very cool town. It's a very funky town. They have great live music. They have a lot of art there. But this year, February 10th, that they actually acknowledged it in Denton as the PriceMaster Day. And I think they did a little bit of a parade type thing to like celebrate that.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit garagesalesupply.com and make your next sale a success.
But the way it all started is that they were going, to Jake's point, they were going to have this yard sale. And one of the guys was like, and also the house that they had it at was like an art house, like it was an artist community. And so inside the house, you may have had multiple people living there, and then each one had a studio that they were working in. So the house itself was there to support local artists and to let them be creative in this environment. So they decided to have this yard sale. And one of the guys was like, man, we can't sell that couch. Like it belongs to the house. And the guys that were organized, they're like, oh no, we're not selling anything.
Nothing's actually for sale. Yeah.
But they made all the signs. They put out a classified ad like, hey, we're having a yard sale that day. And so the people that showed up are your diehard garage selling folks. And they didn't know that it was an art installation. No one knew what it was.
I love watching it, and you see the shoppers, the people in the crowd who they have no idea what's going on. They're making eye contact with the camera the whole time. They're not in on this. It's great. And to see it was like, yeah, like it's the people that are hardcore yard sale people. A lot of them are Nana and Pop, and they are not happy with this art project. They don't, they're generally not okay with the arts, period. So it was very good.
They mentioned someone picked up a broken chainsaw and like, hey, PriceMaster, how much do you want for this? And the PriceMaster goes, $9,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, like seriously, how much you want for it? And then he would like go up or he would go down, but it was also like
It's
these
always absurd.
$500 or $2 million. And so it was just, and then people would get frustrated and leave. And also it was funny thinking like they brought stuff that belonged to their friends and like, oh no, we're not going to get rid of it. It's just it's like, it's here for a prop.
As I recall, I think part of the point was like I think there was probably a statement being made there about consumer culture.
Yes.
And these things are on sale. They're just not accessible to you. It's this absurd price. No, like no one should charge, $60,000 for the spork. But like what, how do we arrive at what is reasonable?
Right. Well, and so the city of Denton, they did the PriceMaster Day, which was February 10th. And what they were encouraging people to do was to bring items to this event and ask the PriceMaster how much it should, like, what's the value of it.
Oh, fantastic.
And so they had various people as the PriceMaster, and they were playing the music, and they were doing all the weird stuff that PriceMaster did. But it was a way to celebrate this character, this cult classic person. But also, as I was reading this article, the article is from the Denton Record Chronicle, and there's a person that created PriceMaster action figures.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Sign me up.
So it looked like it was an action figure that was actually created for like a diorama of like some of the things in Denton. I don't know if you can go out and buy additional of these action figures, but it's pretty funny to see this whole thing. So the person who created the PriceMaster action figure is actually the owner of Thug Emporium, which is in Denton, Texas. So yeah, I think it's still probably on display there. But if you are ever in the Denton, Texas area, go up, look at PriceMaster action figure and all the stuff that they have there. And I'm hoping that they're going to make this an annual event where anyone can come up. You can bring something random, ask for it to like. And the other thing is like at this yard sale that where they first started off, it was like, make me your best offer. It was like $2. I was like, no, 4,000. Like, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. And what was great is that it's the same bit over and over, but it never gets old. And every time he does the price announcement, there's always this gigantic wind up, before he says the full price. And it comes up, booms out this huge number. And there's always like 2 or 3 breaths before he says dollars after that. And it's the same bit over and over, and it never gets old.
It might have gotten old for the people that didn't realize it
clearly
was a
did.
bit and like they were trying to buy something.
It really clearly did. There's like people that are very, very upset and not here for this shit. They wanted to go to a yard sale. But it is I take away like how funny it is and how bizarre it is. I think it was making some pretty cool points too.
Yes.
About how like the agreed upon value of things is kind of on shaky ground. It always has been, and those things are pretty arbitrary. And that's what to me is interesting about the topic of secondhand sales and everything like that is, to me, it kind of pulls back the curtain a little bit on the agreements we make or the agreements we're kind of subject to as to what it costs to live.
Yeah.
And after that initial transaction, the rules kind of lighten up a little bit, or the rules are more open to negotiation. And if something's considered a good trade, a right value at a lower point, then what prevents that earlier on?
Right.
So I don't know. For me, it's really interesting. What I love about PriceMaster on top of all that other stuff is like it invites that kind of thought as to the malleability of things that you might think are kind of set in stone.
Yeah. Well, and a couple of people that were part of the PriceMaster coming to be, they're trying to get a public art statue in Denton of the
Oh, yeah.
PriceMaster, and they're envisioning that this statue would have the voice in full reverb of "Make me an offer." And part of me is like, man, if I just see that on the square in Denton, I might pee myself laughing because that would be hilarious.
I hope the thing would just like randomly blurt out a number at
Yeah,
all hours of the night. That'd be great.
they're probably gonna have set hours that would like do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty funny, and then also part of the lore of Denton and just the students of the University of North Texas and how creative they can be. So I thought it was really interesting. I know that you had mentioned like, oh, I want to bring this to the podcast, but I saw the news article about that's the 25th anniversary. Sad that we missed it in February, but also I have a feeling that whenever it was supposed to happen, I couldn't find any information on if it did happen because that's right around the time that we were getting some pretty major weather through North Texas. So I don't know if it actually happened, but I'm going to put it on the calendar for next year so that we can mosey on over to Denton and check it out next year.
I am absolutely down for that. That'd be great.
That would be fun. So anyway, Long live PriceMaster. And if people don't know what we're talking about, look it up on YouTube. Probably crack open a cold one and watch it because it's interesting.
He's up, PriceMaster, always.
Well, that's what I got for this week, Jake.
All right. Thanks for the memory trip. That's cool.
Bye.
Bye.